You were born into the warrior caste. It isn't a stroke of luck, it's a death sentence. Your only path is to serve and to die young. Childhood doesn't exist for you. At 5 years old, they hand you a wooden sword. Pain becomes your greatest teacher, and tears are a disgrace to your entire clan. At 15, you face the Genpuku coming-of-age ritual. They shave the front of your head. It's undeniably ugly, but it stops your helmet from slipping in the heat of battle. Pure, ruthless practicality. Your armor, lacquered plates woven with thick silk cords. It looks beautiful, but it weighs 25 kilos. In the summer heat, you literally boil inside it. The Kabuto helmet. The higher your social status, the more ridiculous the horns. The only goal is making sure the enemy sees exactly who you are from afar. The Mengu mask. Complete with a fake mustache and iron fangs, it hides your terror and protects your face from slashing blades. The smile of a demon. You think the katana is your main weapon? That's a total myth. The katana is a pistol, a backup weapon strapped to your belt. Your actual weapon is the Yumi bow. A true samurai is a mounted archer. The goal is to kill the enemy before they even get close to you. If you run out of arrows, you grab the yari spear. A long stick will always beat a short sword. The physics of combat rely entirely on your warhorse. Expectation, a majestic Arabian steed. Reality, a shaggy pony. Sturdy and resilient, but incredibly short. You serve for rice. Rice is your food, and rice is your currency. The koku. You have the legal right to kill a peasant just for looking at you wrong. It's called testing your sword. But then you have to write mountains of reports about it. Bushido, the noble code of honor, will be invented much later. Right now, the only rule is survive and win at any cost. Your business is heads. Cut off an enemy's head, get a reward. No head, no money. The Ashigaru, peasants armed with spears. There are thousands of them. You are their commander. They're just meat for the grinder. Loyalty? If the enemy pays more, you swap your flags right in the middle of the battlefield. That's just politics. The daimyo's castle is a labyrinth of traps, squeaking nightingale floors, hidden murder holes, pure paranoia built directly into the architecture. Your wife is the daughter of your lord's enemy, a marriage of absolute political convenience. She runs the entire household and would gladly stab a spy in the garden with her naginata. War begins. You pack not just your sword, but spare straw sandals, dry rice, and thick ropes. The march. The roads are atrocious. Heavy rain washes away the paths. You walk on foot through the mud just to spare your precious horse. A military camp isn't a parade. It's the unbearable stench of thousands of unwashed bodies, horse manure, and thick campfire smoke. Before battle, you perfume the inside of your helmet with incense. Why? Because if the enemy chops your head off, it needs to smell pleasant. It's just good etiquette. A battle doesn't start with an honorable duel. First comes the impenetrable wall of shields and archers, the whistle of arrows. They pierce the cheap bamboo armor of the Ashigaru like wet paper. Your expensive iron armor takes the hit. Then comes the clash. Wooden spears shatter to splinters. There's no fancy fencing here. You just blindly thrust the pointy end of your weapon into the enemy's face. Then it turns into brutal armored wrestling. Jujutsu. Break his joints in the dirt. The enemy is down, wheezing in the dust. You pull out your tanto dagger. It's not murder, it's just your job. You saw off the head. Blood completely soaks your hands, but this single head is worth a heavy sack of rice. To stop someone from stealing your kill, you tie a wooden tag with your name directly to the severed head. Looting among your own ranks is completely normal. Keep a close eye on your spare sandals. In the evening, the head inspection ceremony. You carefully scrub your bloody trophy clean. The general glances at the head. It's just a common foot soldier, he yells in disappointment. At night, peasants roam the battlefield. They strip the armor from the dead, For them, war is harvest season, a minute of rest, the tea ceremony. You sit on your knees for an hour, your legs going completely numb. It's pure torture. There are no weapons in the tea room. A quiet whisper here is more terrifying than a scream in battle. Intrigues. Ninjas? You think they're guys running around in black pajamas? No, it's the humble gardener sweeping the yard. They burn down your rice warehouse in the dead of night. Hunger defeats an army far faster than any sword. They listen to everything, even in the toilet. You sit down to do your business and a spy is right under the floorboards. To keep from going totally insane, you meditate. Zen. Absolute emptiness in your mind. You are a warrior and a poet. Before you die, it's customary to write a beautiful, tragic farewell haiku. Your clan is destroyed. You are now a ronin, a wave man, a drifter without a master. Freedom means starvation. You are a ronin. Your only master now is your empty stomach. You're forced to make cheap paper umbrellas or teach kids just to scrape together a meal. You become a mercenary, guarding merchant caravans. Your ancestral blade now serves mere coin. The year is 1543. The Portuguese arrive. The Nanban, the southern barbarians with the long noses. They brought the teppo, the matchlock gun. The samurai laugh at it. Is this really a weapon for a warrior? They shouldn't be laughing. The daimyo buys 2 guns for a mountain of gold and hands them to his blacksmiths. Copy this exactly. The recoil bruises your shoulder, the smoke stings your eyes, and the roar deafens you. There's absolutely zero aesthetic. The matchlock. If the burning fuse goes out, you're suddenly holding a useless iron stick. If it starts to rain, you might as well throw the gun away. Wet powder doesn't shoot. It takes 10 years to train a master archer. It takes 2 days to train a peasant to pull a trigger. Oda Nobunaga, the Demon King. He was the very first to truly understand the devastating power of firearms. 1575. Nobunaga builds a fence, a simple wooden palisade against the legendary Takeda cavalry. 3 lines of gunners. First row, fire. Second, ready. Third, reload. An assembly line of death. Great master swordsmen died face down in the mud. Tradition lost to basic chemistry and physics. Lead is simply cheaper than steel. War has become an industry. Now we build cyclopean walls of stone. Osaka, Himeji, cannons. They rarely hit their target, but the deafening sound literally scares the enemy out of their minds. The Kirishitan, Christians. Jesus gets them massive trade discounts with the Portuguese merchants. Toyotomi Hideyoshi takes ultimate power. A former dirt-poor peasant. That's god-tier career growth. The sword hunt. They confiscate all weapons from the peasantry, melting them down. A samurai is a warrior of the land. Put him on a ship, and he just gets violently seasick. At sea, pure hell awaited us. Admiral Yi Sun-sin and his turtle ships. Iron roofs covered in spikes. Transporting heads across the sea is too heavy and expensive. So, we cut off noses and ears instead, for the accounting department. We don't steal gold, we steal potters. Fine Korean porcelain is valued much higher than human life. The war is lost. So many deaths for absolutely nothing. Back home, the dogs are fighting for scraps. The apex predator, Tokugawa Ieyasu. The old fox waited his whole life for this exact moment. All of Japan is split into east and west. You have to guess the winner and guess right. Thick fog. You can't see a thing. You hear the tramping of thousands of feet, but you don't know if they are friends or foes. Kobayakawa sits silently on the hill. Ieyasu fires cannons at him just to wake him up. The traitors hit our flank. The war is finally over. My sword is put on the shelf to gather dust. My children are no longer warriors, but bureaucrats wrapped in silk. Tomorrow, Edo will be the biggest city in the world. Wives are held hostage forever. The shogun invented the Sankin Kotai system to keep us on a leash. You are at the very top of the social ladder, but the merchant at the bottom has all the actual money. You are a government official now. Your greatest enemy is a rice tax report. Miyamoto Musashi. He was the exception. A drifter with 2 swords against the whole world. Tameshigiri. Testing your blade on the corpses of criminals, or on living beggars if no one is looking. The E-clan were famous demons. Now their terrifying red armor is just an uncomfortable parade uniform. It's boring. Go to the Yoshiwara Pleasure District. Here, the samurai and the merchant are completely equal, if you have money, which you don't. A geisha sells art, not her body. Platonic love is very, very expensive. Your rice salary's plummeting. You pawn your grandfather's sword just to buy a bowl of hot noodles. No son? Your clan loses all its income, so you legally adopt your son-in-law, or just a fully grown adult man. The year is 1637. Christian peasants revolt. But you've been at peace so long, you've completely forgotten how to hold a spear. It's a disgrace. We had to starve them out. A heroic victory over emaciated women and starving children. The Japanese Inquisition. Fumie, step on the icon of Christ. Refuse? We'll boil you alive in the hot springs. The shogun locked the entire country down. Sakoku. No one enters and no one leaves. Only the Dutch are allowed to trade on the tiny island of Dejima. We look at them like exotic animals in a zoo. The 18th century armchair warrior. The famous book, Hagakure, was written by a bureaucrat who had never been in a single real fight. Seppuku. Slice your stomach from left to right. It is agonizingly painful and horribly messy. Nothing like the movies. You need a kai shakunin, a good friend who will chop your head off before you start screaming in agony. The 47 Ronin. They pretended to be absolute drunks for 2 whole years, just to lull their enemy into a false sense of security. The shogun ordered them all to commit seppuku. Honor is honor, but public order is much more important. There is no war, but you crave adrenaline. Samurai become firefighters, fighting the flames and rival brigades with long wooden hooks. The birth of the Yakuza. Tattoos used to be the permanent brand of a criminal. Kabuki theater. Samurai obsess over the actors. These performers are the ultimate superstars of the era. 1853. The Awakening. My great-great-grandson wipes the thick dust off my rusty sword. The black ships of the USA. Steam demons. Their massive cannons can hit targets 3 kilometers away. We have rusty matchlocks. We finally realize our fierce warrior spirit is completely useless against physics. Foreigners walk on our land like they own it. Our ancient pride is trampled in the mud. Sonno Joi, revere the emperor. Young samurai crave blood. Foreigners are being hunted and slaughtered in the streets. To protect Kyoto, the shogun created the Shinsengumi, the legendary wolves of Mibu. The Ikedaya incident. We stormed the inn. 2 brutal hours of hacking each other to pieces in the pitch black. The strict Shinsengumi code. Try to desert? Seppuku. Lose a fight? Seppuku. Sakamoto Ryoma. He carried a traditional samurai sword and wore shiny American leather boots. Samurai wearing traditional helmets and French military pants with stripes. It looks absolutely ridiculous. Dr. Gatling sent a gift, a machine gun. It spits 200 bullets a minute. Forget your honor. This is just math. The Battle of Toba Fushimi. The enemy raised the brocade banner, the sacred symbol of the emperor himself. Shogun Yoshinobu fled on a ship in the dead of night, leaving his entire army to die. Our leader betrayed us. The imperial troops wear strange wigs made of yak hair, red bears. They look funny, but they shoot dead straight, Armstrong guns. They fire explosive shells. Our ancient wooden castle walls are blown to splinters. The Aizu clan, the Byakutai. Teenagers saw distant smoke and thought their castle had fallen. It was a tragic, fatal mistake. The remnants of the fleet sailed north to Hokkaido, the Republic of Ezo, the final fortress, the final desperate battle. Hijikata Toshizo, the ruthless vice commander of the Shinsengumi. He never surrendered. He charged the machine guns completely alone. They didn't even execute us. They just threw us in prison. It's humiliating to still be alive. 1871, the decree. Cut off the top knot. You cry, but you let the barber cut it. 1876, the final ban. No more wearing swords. You are forbidden to wear your soul on the street. You are now a nobody. Saigo defeated the shogun, but now he fights the machines. Shiroyama, 500 traditional samurai charging blindly into modern artillery. The sword finally lost to the howitzer. With his death, the era of the samurai died forever. Now, everyone in Japan is equal. The son of a peasant and the son of a daimyo wear the same school uniform and eat the same rice. Where did all the samurai go? They joined the police force. Beating people with sticks is still legal. Old habits die hard. The smart samurai created mega corporations like Mitsubishi. Trading steel is infinitely more profitable than swinging it. Your daughters don't embroider. They work in loud silk factories for 14 hours a day. The industrialization of Japan is built on their broken hands. Why did the samurai disappear? Pure economics. Feeding one samurai cost the exact same as maintaining 20 conscripts with rifles. 1899. Nitobe Inazo writes the book Bushido, a book made strictly for the West. He made up half the ancient traditions just to impress the Europeans. They called World War II the Way of the Warrior. The ancient samurai spirit was weaponized into pure government propaganda. Today, the samurai is nothing but a movie hero. 7 Samurai. We love the cinematic myth, completely forgetting the mud, the betrayals, and the severed noses. You are a salaryman now, an office warrior. Your daimyo is your corporate boss. But in your shadow, the spirit of a killer still lingers. The Yakuza call themselves the heirs. They chop off their pinky fingers for mistakes. Yubitsume. It's a sad, cheap parody. The ancient art of killing became a high school sport. Kendo. We hit each other with bamboo sticks and yell loudly. Safe. You go to a museum. The armor of the great heroes is so tiny. The average samurai was 155 centimeters tall. The giants were literally dwarfs. The world knows us through anime, where we fly, slice modern tanks in half with katanas, and have bright pink hair. A beautiful lie that everyone loves. Who were you really? A killer for rice, a desperate traitor, or a man of true honor? History washed away the dirt, leaving only the legend behind.